Late-night comedy is a popular genre of talk shows that originated in the United States. These shows are generally structured around humorous monologues about the day's news, guest interviews, comedy sketches, and music performances. They're characterized by spontaneous conversation and an effect of immediacy and intimacy, as if the host were speaking alone to each viewer. Late-night talk shows are also fundamentally shaped by the personality of the host, which constitutes the trademark of the show. Late-night comedy started in the 1950s with comedian Steve Allen, who first introduced the talk show desk during his often experimental show Tonight Starring Steve Allen. Allen's successor, Jack Paar, added the content format we're still familiar with today: a monologue, interview, and performance. However, it was Johnny Carson, the host of The Tonight Show for over 4 decades, whose affable, family-friendly charm became synonymous with late night. Carson's long-running show also contributed significantly to the development and popularization of the late-night comedy genre. Conan O'Brien entered the late-night comedy scene in 1993 when he took over the late-night slot from David Letterman. Conan's unique blend of humor and charm helped him rise through the ranks of the competitive world of late-night television. His show, Late Night with Conan O'Brien, premiered on September 13, 1993, and aired for 16 years, making him the longest-serving host in the history of the franchise. Conan's success in late-night comedy can be attributed to his self-deprecating, witty, and intellectual style, which resonated with audiences and set him apart from other hosts. But how did he get here? Conan Christopher O'Brien was born on April 18, 1963, in Brookline, Massachusetts, to a family of Irish Catholic descent. At an early age, Conan fell in love with comedy and goofing off, and he described his childhood self as prissy. He would attend the University of Harvard, and during his time there, he would serve twice as president of the Harvard Lampoon and further his love for writing comedy and making people laugh. However, despite his passion for comedy, Conan might not have believed he could make a job out of it due to the uncertainty and competitiveness of the entertainment industry. Conan would graduate from Harvard in 1985 and moved to Los Angeles to pursue their dreams of becoming comedy writers, and landed his first gig writing for Not Necessarily the News for HBO, and was a satirical sketch comedy show that aired from 1982 until 1990. Conan also would write for SNL and appeared for the first time on camera as an extra. His most notable appearance was a doorman named Sean in a sketch with Tom Hanks. Conan O'Brien got the job with The Simpsons after experiencing a personal and professional slump. He'd been working at Saturday Night Live but abruptly quit his writing job with no plans other than aimlessly walking the streets of New York City for inspiration. During this time, Conan's agent, Gavin Pallone, called him with an offer to join The Simpsons as a writer and producer. Conan's reputation as a writer at SNL and his experience working on a television pilot for former Adam West helped him secure the position at The Simpsons. During his time at The Simpsons, Conan wrote several episodes, including New Kid on the Block, Marge vs. the Monorail, and Homer Goes to College. His writing showcased his zany style and versatility with different characters, creating standout moments and leaving a lasting influence on the show. Conan has described the writer's room at The Simpsons as terrible, with bad shag carpet, sofas from the sidewalk, and fried food. He also recalled the experiments with a mix of fondness, as the writers would play games to pass the time. Conan's time at The Simpsons contributed to some of the show's classic episodes, and his comedic brilliance was evidenced in the heartwarming storylines and outlandish humor he brought to the episodes he wrote. Overall, Conan O'Brien's experience working on The Simpsons was a significant stepping stone in his career, allowing him to hone his writing skills and contribute to the show's success. However, this was only just the beginning of his great career. Conan O'Brien got the job as the host of Late Night with Conan O'Brien after a series of events and recommendations. Here's a summary of how he landed the job. When David Letterman left NBC to host The Late Show on CBS, NBC needed to find a new host for the late night slot. NBC turned to Lorne Michaels, the creator of Saturday Night Live, to find a suitable host for late night. Conan's reputation as a writer of Saturday Night Live and his experience working on The Simpsons made him a strong candidate for the job. Conan initially joined Lorne Michaels in the pursuit of finding the right host, but eventually realized that he could just do the job himself. Conan auditioned for the role, and his performance convinced NBC to give him the job. Despite his minimal on-camera experience, Conan's talent and potential as a late-night host were evident, leading to his appointment as the host of Late Night with Conan O'Brien. Conan's first show premiered on September 13, 1993, and featured the following guests: John Goodman.
A couple of years when I bottom out, I can trade this in for a gallon of cheap scotch. I'll need this, thank you.
All right. How's it go? Well, thank you very much for coming on the show.
Well, thanks for asking.
Well.
I wouldn't have been my first choice. But...
Drew Barrymore.
Good. How
Wow,
are you?
you look great. I'm fine. I'm doing all right.
Good.
Getting
you look
by.
great.
Well, thank you. This thing zips up the back. It's easy to get in and out of. You look terrific.
Thank you.
Now, listen, I don't want to start off on the wrong note. I don't want to be one of those talk show hosts who's always gushing, but you, of the three Amy Fishers, I think yours was by far the best, right?
And Tony Randall.
Not so great an honor as to be the first guest, but...
I'm sure John would let you wear the medal if for 5 or 10 minutes.
The show featured many funny skits, such as Conan being saved from an angry mob by nuns, and John Goodman leg wrestling a member of the audience. Despite some initial criticism and concerns about the show's format, Conan's unique blend of humor and charm helped him gain a following. Despite the initial challenges, Conan's show managed to compete with other late-night talk shows, including The Tonight Show with Jay Leno and Late Show with David Letterman. Conan O'Brien got his shot as the host of The Tonight Show after a series of events and negotiations. In 2004, Jay Leno announced his retirement from hosting The Tonight Show, and after 6 years he would let whoever NBC chooses become the new host. NBC began searching for a suitable replacement, and Conan O'Brien was considered a strong candidate due to his success as the host of Late Night with Conan O'Brien. And NBC decided to appoint Conan as the next host of The Tonight Show, and announced the decision in 2004. Conan continued hosting Late Night until his transition to The Tonight Show in February 2009. The Jay Leno and Conan O'Brien conflict revolves around the hosting duties of The Tonight Show, and the events that led to Conan's departure from the show in 2010. Instead of retiring, Jay Leno started hosting a new show, The Jay Leno Show, which aired at 10 p.m., followed by The Tonight Show with Conan O'Brien at 11:35 p.m. Both The Tonight Show with Conan O'Brien and The Jay Leno Show struggled with ratings, and NBC affiliates complained of declining viewership. NBC decided to move The Jay Leno Show to the 11:35 p.m. time slot, effectively bumping The Tonight Show with Conan O'Brien to 12:05 a.m. Conan was unhappy with this decision and reached a settlement with NBC to depart the show in 2010. The decision to move Jay Leno's show and push Conan's show later in the night led to a public backlash against NBC and Jay Leno. Many fans and celebrities supported Conan and criticized NBC's decision. After leaving The Tonight Show, Conan went on to host his own talk show, Conan, on the cable channel TBS, where he continued to entertain audiences for 11 years. Before ending the show in 2021. Conan O'Brien has been involved in various projects since the end of his late-night talk show. Conan O'Brien has had a remarkable career in the entertainment industry, starting as a writer for Saturday Night Live and later working as a writer and producer for The Simpsons. He then went on to host his own late-night talk shows, including Late Night with Conan O'Brien and The Tonight Show with Conan O'Brien. Throughout his career, Conan has showcased his comedic genius and unique style, which has endeared him to millions of fans worldwide. Conan has been known for his hilarious skits. These skits often involve humorous situations and interactions, showcasing Conan's ability to create memorable moments with his guests. With celebrities like Kevin Hart,
I would have to say the hardest thing in the world might be to get Cube to break a smile. That guy is... This guy, look at this face. He doesn't...
It's him all the time.
We were in a car with him.
It's him all the time.
For an hour, for 2 hours, and everything. He just has that look. He just looks at you. That's him. That's him laughing at a joke right there.
and Ice Cube.
First of all, I was talking to Kevin Hart recently, and he was complaining to borrow some money. But Kevin Hart said, we were talking about you, and he said he gets so frustrated. He said, I can't make Cube break. I can't crack him up. He tries and tries and tries. He shoots these movies with you. He tries everything he can think of. The whole crew will be laughing. You, with that face, just staring. You don't break around. You don't break.
Conan's office skits have become a staple of his late-night shows, often featuring his assistant, Sonam Movsesian, and other staff members. These skits provide a glimpse into the behind-the-scenes antics of his show and showcase Conan's ability to make his audience laugh with relatable and lighthearted humor. As Conan continues to evolve in his career, he's transitioned from hosting late-night talk shows to focusing on his podcast, Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend, and producing travel specials like Conan Without Borders. His ability to adapt and reinvent himself has allowed him to stay relevant and continue to entertain audiences in new and innovative ways. Conan O'Brien has had a remarkable career in the entertainment industry, and his impact on late-night television and comedy will be felt for years to come. His unique blend of humor, wit, and charm has endeared him to millions of fans worldwide, and his legacy will continue to inspire future generations of comedians and entertainers.